everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. I know it's been a long time coming since our last episode. I had to wrap some things up with school, finish my senior year, get it all wrapped up, put a bow on it, and get done with it, right? So, we're in a great spot right now in the world of sports. We have the NBA Finals going on right now. We have the Stanley Cup playoffs. International Fight Week's coming up in a couple weeks for MMA and boxing, all that stuff. We have the middle of baseball season. We're coming up on college football. We're coming up on the NFL. It's a great time to be a sports fan right now, and there's no better time to get back into the picks. So let's get right to it. We're going to go right to the NBA Finals. We got Game 4 tonight in Boston. Here we go. Alright, so let's get right into it. Tonight, we have Game 4 of the NBA Finals, Boston and Golden State. In Boston, we know the controversy. We know what's happening. We have Draymond saying these fans are out of control. We expect that from Draymond. He's a talker. He's a thinker. He's a bright brain. He doesn't have much of a filter. He seems to say what he thinks. And I respect that. But the one that agitated me a little bit was the Klay Thompson one, because all we're seeing in these clips from the 2015-2016 finals, where LeBron was being heckled out of his mind in Golden State, and LeBron didn't really bring it up as much as Klay just did against Boston. But the thing was, Klay was very keen on you're playing at a high level, you're playing in a high pressure environment, the fans are going to be unruly, blah blah blah. Anyway, screw Klay, screw Draymond. My first pick of the day would be Draymond's under for points and assists. It's 13.5. We could get it roughly around minus 105. That's what I'm looking at. I'd say that's the easy pick because we've been seeing Draymond, not be too efficient on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, he's a defensive menace. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA. But with that being said, we're going under 13.5 points and assists for Draymond Green. Let's jump in the first basket. Maybe we should have did this first. I don't care. First basket, I love first basket bets because, you get them in. It's right at the beginning of the game. It's really intense, high pressure. And then you just got the rest of the game to kind of, figure it out with the rest of the bets, So it's like, it gets that pressure off you. It gets that monkey off your back, so to say. So I've been dealing with Jason Tatum for these first baskets because Boston's winning a lot of these tips with their size advantage between Al and Rob versus really Drayvon and Kevon Looney. With that being said, Kevon Looney did score the first basket of Game 3 at plus 1,200 odds or something. Tatum's odds, though, the sports books must be on to something with me because Tatum's odds have been going down almost every game. They opened up Game 1 at plus 700, down to plus 650, down to now plus 550. Tatum would be my pick. If you're trying to hedge yourself a little bit, you could take Steph Curry at plus 600 on the other side. I'm looking for somebody to get the ball, pull up and shoot, maybe take it hard to the rim. I know what you're thinking. Well, what about Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown scores a lot of the points in this offense. Well, Jaylen Brown does get hot in the first quarter. We've seen that now, time and time again. But like I said, I'm looking for somebody. They've been putting Draymond on Brown a lot to start the game. I'm looking for somebody to get the ball and be aggressive right away. I'm not looking for the ISO matchup. I'm not looking for I'm not looking for anything crazy. I'm just looking for a guy to maybe get the ball, exploit an opening, take an open shot, take it hard to the rim, and finish. With that being said, you got Tatum at plus 550 for the Celtics, and you got Steph for plus 600 for the Warriors. Now, my big pick of the day. Mr. Fundamentals. Legacy game, every game. Al freaking Horford. Over 10.5 points. Take it to the bank. He's when he wants to, he could be one of the most dominant power forwards in the league. He dominates that 4 position. They really don't have anybody to size up against him. You're putting Draymond on trying to get Draymond on the Tatums and Browns as scorers, and then you have to leave Kevon on Rob Williams if he's in there. Well, who's guarding Al? And that seems to be the question the Warriors can't answer. So I'm looking at Al Horford on my big bet tonight. That's my max. That's my gold standard. Whatever you want to call it. I'm looking at Al Horford over 10.5 points. You can get it for like anywhere on the sports books, -115 to -120. Okay, that's all I got for the NBA Finals tonight. Next, we're gonna roll into some hockey tomorrow with the Rangers and Lightning. All right, over to the ice now, where we have the New York Rangers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Both of them trying to go see the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals here, or the finals of the Stanley Cup playoff. I'm still stuck in basketball mode, excuse me. But the Lightning seem to have a commanding grasp on the series now. With that being said, I'm looking at the Rangers. I'm looking at them backs against the wall here. I'm looking at goal scorers, all right? I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm looking at Chris Kreider, especially early. I'm looking for him that first period, but I'm taking him anytime goal scorer at +176. But if there's one thing I've noticed about the Rangers lately, it's that they're looking for Kreider to be aggressive early. They're looking for him to take the shots in the first period here. And that's why I have him at +176 on anytime goal scorer. And then the other goal scorer I'm looking for, like I said, backs against the wall. The man that's absolutely electrifying out there in the middle ice for the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad at +198. Don't miss that one there, because he's gonna be all tuned up for this series, if it is the last game of the series here. On other news outside of hockey, just a podcast note here. If you haven't noticed yet, it's just me. For better or worse, it's just me here. Normally I get a guest. Normally I get somebody to do some picks with me at some point. Not today. We're just trying to get back in the swing of things here. I'm going to try to put podcasts out weekly. Maybe we'll get some guests, put them at the end, so that way you could kind of watch if you just want my picks. Great. Got 10, 15 minutes at the beginning of the episode. You want to hear the whole thing, we'll have them at the end there, another 20 minutes. But, I'm trying to keep it condensed. Nobody likes to sit around and listen to stuff for 2-3 hours, right? So anyway, like I said, hockey picks. Rangers backs against the wall. Goal scorers, Chris Kreider, +176. Mika Zibanejad, +198. Take it to the bank. Here we go. Let's get into the UFC now with UFC 275 this weekend. A couple weeks of July. With that being said, of course UFC is going to promote the hell out of that card. They're going to make it their best card of the year. They're going to put all their big names on there. I think we got like Amanda Nunes, Israel Adesanya. There's a loud car going by. Put an exhaust on that bitch or something. Anyway, like I said, got a good card here. We got the main event, Glover versus Jerry. And let's be honest, 5-round title fights, it's not as common as I'm to go the distance as it is in a 3-round. That's an extra 10 minutes of fighting, on top of a regular, MMA, UFC fight here at 5 minutes. What do I want to say? A round. I'm stuck in hockey and basketball. I wanted to say period or a quarter, but excuse me. Yes, we're not looking for this to go. I'm not even looking. Honestly, this Jerry hasn't even. I'm not even gonna try to say his name because I'll butcher it. His last name, but we're gonna call him Jerry. Jerry versus Glover in the main event. Jerry hasn't had a fight that's gone over like 12 minutes, I think, in the UFC yet. With that being said, I'm not going to give you a pick for a winner. I like Glover Teixeira. This Jerry guy's an animal. He's fighting, so it's like, what do you want to do here? You don't want to give. I mean, all fights are 50-50 until the next fight I get into. But for this fight right here, I'm thinking. I saw a line. It caught my eye. It was -138. Over 1.5 rounds. Now, yeah, you just went on a whole spiel, Eli, about how these fights don't go distances in 5 rounds. Yes, but, I mean, it's a title fight. I don't think we're coming in looking for... I don't think we're going to get a first-round knockout. I think we're going to play a little conservative at the beginning. Looking for the fact that this could go 25 minutes. We got to save energy. We got to conserve, all our energy and our power and stuff. So I'm looking at it over 1.5 rounds. That would be the 2-minute and 25-30 second mark of the second round. We need to get past that, and we'll be good. So that's over 1.5 rounds, -138 in the main event. Glover versus Jerry, UFC 275. But that's not it. I got more. The Dominator. The baddest woman in the UFC right now, since rewind. since Amanda Nunes has, fallen off that pedestal just a bit, in my opinion, the baddest woman in the UFC. No, I'm not talking about Thug Rose. I'm talking about Valentina Shevchenko. This chick, she's a killer. Like, let's be honest. You do not want to step in. She is like what, the Chris Cybors and Holly Holmes and Ronda Rouseys were of the first wave of real women's fighting in the UFC. Valentina, she's an animal. I cannot believe this line is out there, but you could get Valentina Shevchenko to win by knockout, TKO, or submission on FanDuel Sportsbook for plus 125. I can't even believe that's a thing. I can't believe that's plus money. Like we just said about Glover and Jerry, we're not looking, title fights to go, all the way all the time. There's a loud bird. Oh my god, thing's huge. That's what she said. Anyway, we're not looking at these title fights, to go the distance. 25 minutes, you have to be an absolute machine to fight for 25 minutes. With that being said, Valentina Shevchenko, knockout, TKO, or submission, plus 125. That's tomorrow, June 11th, UFC 275. We're going to wrap this up here, put a bow on it. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. We'll be back again. I'm going to try to stick with the schedule here. We'll be 1 week after another, at least one episode. This was your resident Pick Fiends, and we're out.